Obrigado, illustre Presidente do Comito. Um, Honorable members, good morning. It is quite an honor for us to address you this morning, this afternoon. Apologies for the power cuts in our beloved South Africa. Today we meet not only to discuss the legal frameworks, but to envision a region that is just, transparent, and accountable in its governance, particularly where the invisible and vulnerable are concerned. As the Southern Africa Litigation Center, we are grateful for the opportunity to work closely with this forum and its committees to contribute in the creation of this model law that will address pressing criminal justice sector issues with regional coherence and impact. So our work underscores how critical budgeting transparency is, especially in the correctional services systems in our countries. According to recent research, approximately 400,000 people are held in prison across our region, with around 40% of them being in our host country today. Many are in pre-trial detainees, some for years remain in pre-trial detainment. And these individuals are criminalized often for poverty-related offenses or what we have commonly referred to as petty offenses. These realities demand more than reactive solutions. They call for structural reforms, and we hope this meeting becomes the key step in that direction. As many of you will know, the UN's Nelson Mandela rules remind us all that prisoners shall be treated with the respect due to their inherent dignity and value as human beings. These are not aspirational words, but binding moral and legal principles which should guide how we legislate, how we budget, and how we oversee correctional services. Honorable members, our parliaments have a pivotal role to play in this regard. Considerable resources are often spent on prison infrastructure, while staff remains underpaid and conditions deteriorate. Some of those working in our correctional services systems have the same training as others in the civil service, but they receive lower salaries and live and work in appalling conditions. Ensuring fair labor conditions at correctional facilities and retaining professional staff require funding. A joint South research has shown that overcrowding, the lack of resources, and underinvestment in non-custodial alternatives continue to undermine prisoners' rights and rehabilitation objectives. Encouragingly, though, we have seen that it's possible for parliaments to act when called upon. We've seen in Malawi, for example, where parliamentary representatives visited their facilities, and that led to a meaningful increase in prison food budgets and the introduction of prison reforms, showing how responsive, informed legislative action can lead to a better outcome. This is a reminder that when informed and intentional, legislative action can directly uphold the dignity and the rights of those behind bars. These conversations that I hope we begin here today must be centered around a model law that must consider the whole landscape, the legal obligations under international standards, and the budgetary realities, and most importantly, the human stories at the heart of our justice systems. To help us ground this conversation today, it is an honor for me to introduce to you someone whose work embodies the kind of justice-centered leadership that we need. He was a member of the National Assembly of the Parliament of South Africa from 1999 until 2024. He has been a member of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development. He was instrumental in shaping many pieces of legislation, such as, among others, the Child Justice Act of 2008, the Prevention and Combating of Human Trafficking Act of 2009, and many others. He has held positions in parliamentary. He has held a position of parliamentary counselor to the president and deputy president from 1999 until 2013, serving under President Mbeki, President Motlanthe, and President Zuma. Mr. John Jeffery, who's the former Deputy Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development of South Africa, is no stranger to the legal and policy reforms we all aspire to. His career has been marked by principled advocacy for constitutionalism, human rights, and practical improvements in the justice sector. With your permission, Chairperson, I would like to introduce Mr. John Jeffery to address us this afternoon.